I couldn't believe it. And I would just go, what? And then you would do it and it would work or it wouldn't work.
I still get excited about new stuff now.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I do it once in a while, but not all the. You would just do it all the time, and a lot of people don't change their set. You ever work with some comedians that have the same thing for the last 5 years?
You know, that goes back to what I was gonna say when I was bombing. I think this is some advice I got too when I was bombing real bad, and I walked out of that club Durden's. I tell you, I was covering my face. I was that embarrassed, and I bumped into a guy, and I look, and it's Jeff Ross is right there. And he goes, hey, you know, somebody just walking with his hood up looks weird. He goes, what's up, man? And he knew I was a comic. He must have smelled it on me. He goes, you a comedian? I go, yeah, dude. I said, I just bombed so bad. I was like, man, my knees were, I had to cover my face. I was like telling him, I don't think this is for me. And he goes, no, dude. He goes, you got to bomb a lot. This is comedy. You have to bomb a lot. You got to bomb. He's like, just bomb. It doesn't matter.
You do to get better.
He's
it's
like,
kind
you
of
got
weird.
to do it to get better. He's like, sometimes he's like, the jokes are gonna bomb.
Like if you were a bowler and you threw 300 every time,
right?
It would be not. You got to do some adjusting, I guess.
You got to bomb a lot. He's like, you know, the one show you don't want to bomb at is one of them, the one important show. But he goes, every other show you got to bomb at. You know, you got to learn.
There's one I wish I had a film for, a movie film for, and I think I might have told you. I went to Pete's and I wanted to try a character. So I dressed like an Arab, and I got that thing in my mother's ruby from my mother's lamp.
Oh, wow.
I stuck that big ruby on it. I had a turban, and you know,
from a lamp.
And I kind of look like him.
Yeah.
And I'm got this gown on and sandals, and I'm Abdul Muhammad, the richest man in the world. My father sent me to this country, and that's who I was. And they introduced me. Well, it was during the war, and some people hated me. Because it was during that war in Afghanistan.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And some people weren't ready for that.
Yeah.
And I was still doing myself, I was just doing basic stuff. I own a car lot, and I don't have no work, so I key the cars. All kind of crazy stuff. And I says, I have money. I need to spit. And everything uncouth.
Yeah.
These two guys from Boardman, Ohio, seen me, the president and vice president of a window company. They said, we'll pay you a ton of money to do our Christmas as Abdul.
Wow.
I go, what do you want? He goes, we want you to take the company over. I go, that's not funny. He goes, don't worry. We'll, it'll be okay. We'll be in the back, and halfway through, we'll bring you up as the new owner of the company.
Wow, that's crazy.
I said, make sure they eat first, because they're not going to like.
Right.
They're not going to like this.
Yeah.
And I go, what are you going to? He goes, we'll give you a couple grand. I go,
oh, you got to take it, especially starting
for 20
out.
minutes.
Yeah, wow.
I said, I got to do it. I said, let me get creative. What can I do? I brought my buddy Tommy Edwards in a suit. He was my advisor. He was with me. How about that? I had bifocals. Now, I want you to picture me in a suit with bifocals and a turban. I couldn't even see out of these glasses. Tommy's next to me, and he goes, Jimmy, I couldn't even look at you. You look crazy. And I couldn't see. I couldn't even find my wallet.
Wow.
I couldn't see. But I figured I only got to walk 20 feet, right?
Yeah.
So he gets up there. I said, don't dig me a hole. You know what that means?
Yeah.
Don't make them love you and bring me up.
Right.
Because you're
Be
giving
quick,
the company.
yeah.
He gets up there and starts crying. What if?
Oh my God.
I have to do something I didn't want to do last night. I sold the company, and everybody went,
holy
cow! They
cow!
quit eating.
Right. This is their livelihood.
There's 100 people, and it's dead quiet.
And this is how they pay their bills.
Yeah, and I walk up with Tommy. I said, we got to go up there, man. And I walk up there, and my mother was into this so much, she thought it was funny. She goes, well, you got to be kind of uncouth. She goes, here's some flour. She puts flour in a baggie, a ton of flour. It looks like cocaine. Nobody could have that much cocaine. That would be, what, $50,000?
Yeah.
It's got maybe $1 million to look like. She put that in your pocket.
Oh, she's funny.
She let that fall out. And then she gave me some jewelry. She had that real cheap jewelry from dollar store.
Yeah.
She goes, throw that to they'll start screaming. They didn't want to think it's real.
That's funny.
So I got all this stuff. And then I got a suit on, and I got what do you call it? What do you call that thing you drink out of canteen?
Oh, canteen, yeah.
That with bullets.
Oh man.
And I'm sitting there, and my opening line was, hello, I have good news and bad news. I said, the good news is there'll be some raises. And everybody sat up. They got a little excited. Maybe I'm missing money.
Yeah.
The bad news is I'm keeping 5 of you. That's what I said. And then Tommy over there, he said he had to bite holes in his lip. He said every time I looked at me, it looked nuts. And then he said, and then he played it up good. He grabbed the microphone. I did a joke.
Yeah.
Terrible joke. 6 ducks, and you have one duck was a baby, and the baby didn't make it across the street because the father said, "Don't come here." Something real stupid.
Right.
And Tommy goes, Abdul wasn't happy with the last response, and they start going.
They think you're their boss.
Yeah, they better clap, right? And then I says, and there'll be none of this, and I pulled the cocaine out.
Oh my God!
This is for me, and I put it back. Crazy, and the owners are loving it, and they're not. It's dead silence for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And the owner and the vice president are back there dying. They set me up such a hole.
Wow.
And that was the longest 20 minutes of my life.
Man, I got a story, man. I had one talking about doing Christmas parties. I had to do a Christmas party for this construction company.
Did you have a hard time?
I get it last minute. It's over at some bar in Austin town, right? So I don't even know the name of the company. You're not looking up that stuff. And I go there, and Jimmy, it's construction workers. They're already rowdy. Like, these guys build bridges. Like, it's a rowdy bunch of people. And there's punching machines there and everything. So I'm like, all right. I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. I'm headlining. I got to do 45 minutes. They're paying me to do it. I think it was like $500. So I show up, and I get there, and I'm waiting. I come out from the back. I finally get to walk out there and really see the crowd. It's this guy that I owe $4,500 to. He's the boss of the construction company. Because I bought his house like 4 years ago, and I filed bankruptcy on it, but he lent me the down payment. And it all went in the bankruptcy. So I never paid him.
So he's ready for
Jimmy,
your money.
I had to do 45 minutes of material with him right there. And
did he laugh?
No, he wasn't laughing at nothing. Nobody was really laughing. I wasn't even good yet. People were hitting the punching machine while I'm on stage. It's going 800, Like, I'm on stage. The crowd's about 100 feet away from me. I got, like, instruments everywhere. I'm way back there. There's no light. The mic's cutting out, People are drinking everywhere. It's like a circular bar, so nobody can even really see me. And I had to talk to him. The show's over. He goes, "Hey, come here." I'm like, this guy's going to beat my ass. Big construction guy. And I go, "Man, I'm so sorry about that $4,500, man. I put in my bankruptcy." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about that. Yeah, no, it's covered. That I was able to write that off with my company. It's no big deal."
He said?
And he goes, "You want some Coke?" I go, "No, man, I'm good." I was like, "Oh, I'm good, man." I was like, "All right, thanks." He paid me.
They offer you anything.
"I'll give you some Coke." I'm like, "Nah, man, I don't want none." He goes, "No, I'll give it to you for free. Take some Coke." I'm like, "No, I don't want it." I had to leave the damn place.
Hey, look, I'm telling you, now that you mention it's really funny. One time, my one buddy, we were out in the parking lot. You try anything in comedy, you don't know.
Right.
I even tried to drink beers and stuff before stage, and then it didn't work. I couldn't memorize.
Right.
And then I tried one time to smoke pot. One time I tried in the parking lot. My buddy goes, "Come on, this will cut an edge off for you. You'll be real good." I got a little paranoid.
Yeah.
I took a few hits, and then I got in there. I went up to my buddy. I go, "Everybody knows probably what I've been doing outside." He goes, "Settle down."
Wow.
Settle down. And they go, "Then Jimmy Bartok, I got to go on stage."
Wow.
I was all nervous.
Man.
I thought everybody knew.
Eyes all red.
Oh, I thought they knew what I was looking at them. I go, "I'm sorry." I said crazy stuff. And they didn't even know what I was doing. But I said, "I'll never do that again."
I never want to bring anything, even drinking, around comedy anymore because it's a business. And, I made mistakes. Like, I remember the comic strip Christmas party. I remember it's unlimited drinks at the Christmas parties in New York. And this is Upper East Side.
Did you have people dancing on your lap, sitting on your lap?
I don't know what I said. I know I was blackout drunk. I couldn't even stand up. People were like, "Man, it's time for you to go home. You're drunk." I remember I called. I was getting they remodeled the Upper East Side now. The Q train runs by comic strip. So there's it's 500 feet, this escalator up in the sky. You can't even see the end of it, right? To take you down to the subway. It's deep. I mean, you're going like 10 floors down in the basement of the subway. So, anyways, I'm drunk now. And as soon as I'm getting on the escalator, I called my girlfriend. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm drunk. I'm getting on the escalator now." "Oh, I'm falling," and I fell. And I started to fall. And Jimmy, the fall, I'm going down. It's a 500-foot escalator. And the escalator's going real slow. And Jimmy, I'm still on the phone with her.
That's gotta hurt.
Falling, right? And I called her as soon as I got on the escalator. I'm drunk. I didn't feel nothing. I'm like, man, when's this going to stop? I'm so drunk. I couldn't catch myself. And I finally get to the bottom, and she goes, hello, and I look at the phone. I forgot I was even talking to her. 3 minutes and 17 seconds the phone call was. I fell for 3 minutes straight down the escalator. I mean, everything bleeding, cut up.
My God.
She's like, was that an axe? She goes, you kept going, ow, shit, ow, thunk. She's like, there's no way nobody.
You fell for like 20 minutes.
I fell for 3 minutes straight. 3 minute fall. You know, a fall's supposed to be 4 or 5 seconds.
You're real quick.
You think 3 minutes. And I'm like, you know what? I can't ever drink like that ever again, especially not around a club. And, you know, you never want to make yourself look like that. People were like, man, we couldn't even understand you. I remember I was sitting there, Jimmy, I'm talking to this guy, and we're talking, he goes, anyways, what language are you speaking? Jimmy, he didn't even, I was that drunk.
That's bad.